ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to this weekly online class. After a long time, we are again coming to Bhagavad Gita. It was a long gap. We took classes on Ramayana, Hanuman Jayanti, so many classes we took. So again, we are coming to Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. So if you remember, we are discussing the section from 54 sloka to 72. This is the last part of second chapter, and in this chapter, if you remember, in our last Gita session, we discussed on verse 2.54, where Arjuna is asking so many questions to Lord Krishna. Arjuna vacha sthita prajnasya ka bhasa samadhi tasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. So Arjuna is going here. Arjuna is asking 4 questions. Arjuna asking to Lord Krishna, and to reply these 4 questions, Krishna will continue till the end of the chapter, till the last verse 70. So in the last class, we already covered the first question. First question was Sthita Prajna Ka Bhasa. Explain me about a Sthita Prajna person, the person who is a Jivan Mukta, the person who is a so-called realized soul. So how he lives, explain about that person. So that we already discussed in the verse 2.55. Lord tells that Sri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kamam Sarvam Partha Manogata. So Lord is telling Arjun, look, the person Prajahati Yada Kamam, the person who is given of all kind of material desires. Sarvan Kama. Prajahati means giving up. Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvam Partha Manogata. What kind of desire? Somebody may say that if you give all the desire, then how will you live in this material world? So Manogata, the material desire which are coming out of the material mind. Okay. उसका गाड़ी आज हो गया, चलो मेरा आज ये गाड़ी खरीद लूंगा. So all this kind of silly material desires. So this kind of desires that doesn't affect that person. He gives it up. Atmani evatmana tushta. And then he is satisfied with his own self. Means whatever God has given, with that he is happily satisfied. That is called Atmani evatmana tushta sthita prajna tado uchyate. That person is called actually Sthita Prajna person. Krishna replies in the first question. So actually this is very vague and this is very general answer. Krishna gives that he is satisfied and he doesn't compare with others. He doesn't see a material desire comparing with other or unnecessarily silly things that doesn't come to his mind. He is just peaceful and satisfied with himself. So today we are going to touch the verse 56 and 57. These 2 verses will be answer the second questions of Arjuna. So if you'll see in the verse 54, the second question of Arjuna was what? Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta. The third line, if you'll see in the verse 2.54, the third line is Sthitadhi kim prabhaseta. Prabhaseta means what? Prabhaseta means Prabhas, speaking. So how does that person speaks? Okay, sometimes you get excited, na? Hare, kaise baat karta hoga ye? How they speak, how they sing, how they talk. Because big person, you get attracted to listen how they talk with each other. So here, Arjuna is asking, my God, this is a self-realized person. So how does he speak? वो बोलेंगे तो ऐसा मुंह में संगीत आता है क्या? How does they speak? How they talk? So now Arjuna, Krishna is going to answer the second question of Arjuna, that how exactly a Sthitadhi person, how he speaks. So let's try to understand the answer to this question from the verse 56 to verse 57. So this is the new topic. Today's topic, we are beginning from verse 56. Okay, we'll recite verse 56 to point 56. दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृह वीतराग भय क्रोध स्थितधीर मुनिरुच्यते. Very interesting verse. Krishna is telling here. So how does he speak? So when Arjuna is asking this question, it is not exactly how he speaks. There is a meaning behind this. Sanskrit is such a language, you have to decode the meaning. Otherwise, you will think that how does he speak? Kaise baat karta hoga? So when he says that how does he speak, the meaning is that how he responds to happiness and distress. Right? How he responds to respect and disrespect. How he responds to glorification and condemnation. So how basically a person responds to the dualities of the material life. So that was the main point Arjuna wanted to know, that. Because when you speak, then only the reality of you comes out, right? So जब तक गधा मुंह नहीं खोलता तो पता नहीं चलता है कौन है. The moment he opens the mouth, then you understand power. And this person is this one. So they say that when you open your mouth, then immediately the intelligent person comes to know that who you are. Basically, based on the question you ask, based on the comment you give, so immediately they know that what kind of person you are, what kind of caliber you have. So here, Arjuna is asking, how does he speak? That means, how does he respond to the dualities of the life? And then Krishna is answering in the verse 2.56. Dukkhesu anudvigna manaha. Dukkhesu means what? Dukkhesu means in the time of suffering, when there is suffering in your life. Dukkhesu anudvigna manaha. Anudvigna. Vigna means very grief. Anudvigna, the mind is not affected by sorrow. Even though there is a dukkha, even though there is a lot of suffering, still the mind is not affected with that. It is not grieved by the suffering. So that was the first point Krishna is telling here. Dukkhesu anudvigna manaha. In the second line, Krishna is telling, Sukhesu vigata spraha. And Sukhesu, when he is very happy, very nice opportunity for happiness is there. Vigata spraha, he was not so excited. Vigata spraha means generally a person gets a lottery. Imagine 1 crore of lottery he gets. He will get so excited and he will start dreaming, right? What all I'll do with the money. I'll purchase a house, I'll purchase a car, I'll purchase this, that. Big list of things he will jot down and he will start seeing the dream in the day only. But here Krishna is telling, Sukhesu Bigata Spraha. Bigata Spraha means it doesn't estimate very big thing. It become normal, neutral only. So दुख में ज्यादा रोता नहीं, सुख में ज्यादा हंसता नहीं. Basically neutral. So that is the point Krishna is telling here. And then Bita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Bita means devoid of. It's not there. Bita. Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. 3 things are very important. So Krishna is telling he is devoid of Raga. Raga means attachment. Okay, Raga, attachment. And Bhaya. Bhaya means what? Bhaya means fear. Bhaya means fear. And Krodha. Krodha means what? Krodha means anger. So basically, he is fear from all these things. So this is one of the important criteria here Krishna is telling. Bhita Raga Bhaya Krodha. He is free from all these three criteria. And then what is he telling the fourth line? Sthitadhi Munir Uchyate. The person who have all these qualities in his life, Sthitadhir Munir Uchyate. He is actually Sthitadhi person. So that is how Krishna is defining that who is a self-realized person. Let's try to understand the points from the Acharya's commentary. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that there are three types of suffering a person gets in his life. That is, number one is Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik. Adi Atmik means suffering because of his own body. Atmik, Adi Atmik, suffering because of his own body. That is Adi Atmik. Suppose sometime you get a headache or a fever, hunger. So it all happened because of our own body, right? That is called Adi Atmik. Second kind of suffering is called Adi Bhautik. You are very happily living, but your pados wala naak mein dam karke rakha hai. The suffering comes from other party. You don't have any objection, and you are peaceful, you are not doing anything, but still they'll come and they'll trouble you. That is called Adi Bhautik. From the different persons that suffering comes. And then Adi Daivik. Daiva means what? Sometimes cyclone comes, or wind, rain, heavy rain, now scorching heat in India, and then rainy season will come, winter season will come. So that is all Daiva. Sometimes cyclone comes, flood comes. So that is totally, we are not in control of that. Daiva. That is called Adi Daiva. So in this way, a living entity affected by these three kinds of suffering in his life. Okay? But here why Chakravarti Paath is telling that this person, who is a self-realized person, his mind is not at all disturbed, even though these three suffering are there in his life. It's not that when a person becomes devotee, he will not get affected, suffering. Even the Pandavas, there was so much suffering in their life. But the thing is that suffering will not affect their consciousness. They will have that capacity to tolerate that suffering. But in contrast, a non-devotee, when he have that suffering, he will be miserable. He will start chastising the Lord only. That how come you gave me this suffering? And he will justify so many reasons that why I am not supposed to suffer like this. But a devotee, when he gets a suffering, he becomes very grateful to Lord. That perhaps I must be died now, but Lord has given me a little bit of suffering. So Lord is so grateful. So that is how the consciousness of a devotee is totally different from a non-devotee. And he was not at all affected by it, because this suffering is also given by Lord only, right? So he takes with a whole heart, with a grateful heart, that whatever comes, let it be. That's how he is not affected, not disturbed by the sufferings also. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport that very interestingly, Prabhupada writes that the sufferings when it comes to a devotee's life, he thinks that actually this is because of my past misdeed. This is because of my past misdeed, and actually I am supposed to get more, but Lord is so merciful that he has minimized it and he has given a token of it. Suppose mera haath kat gaya, then you will say that, my God, I'm supposed to die in a truck accident, and Lord just took one of my hand. Lord is so grateful. So that's how the devotee thinks, and he is not at all disturbed, Prabhupada writes. And then Prabhupada writes that similarly, when a devotee becomes very happy, something good happens in his life, then he doesn't take the credit. He gives all the credit to the Lord only. that Lord has given everything. Actually, I don't deserve all these things. And because the Lord is so merciful, and it is His mercy that He has given everything. It's all His mercy only. I don't deserve all these things. So automatically, devotee remains always humble. And that is how Prabhupada is defining that. He doesn't get affected with this happiness and sorrow. And Prabhupada takes it to further one point that he tells that if he gets happiness and lot of opportunity and facility, then the devotee utilizes those things in the service of the Lord. Okay, I got this laptop or I got this vehicle or home. Let me utilize in Krishna's service. So that's how a devotee happily engages those things in Krishna's service. Prabhupada tells. Okay, and then Prabhupada tells about the third line, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. He doesn't have attachment, fear, and anger. So Prabhupada is telling that just see, sometimes you are doing something and you have some liking. I like this kind of a sabji, or I don't like this kind of a sabji. Suppose imagine you are don't liking some sabji and that sabji was prasad that day. So then the devotee, he doesn't get caught up with this materially liking, disliking. Suppose it's prasad, then with wholeheartedly welcomes that. So liking, disliking, actually, these all things are in a platform of a material platform actually that is connected to our mind. But the spiritual thing is much more beyond that. If Krishna likes that, then obviously I should also like, right? So devotee goes beyond his own personal liking, disliking, and he keeps Krishna in the center. That's how he's not attached to something his own, but because this can be utilized in Krishna's service, so he is attached to that. Otherwise, if Krishna doesn't like them, then the devotee also tell, okay, I also don't, I'm also okay. I don't like. So devotee, everything, the liking, disliking happens in the perspective of Lord Krishna. That's how Prabhupada defines that. Vita Raga. Bhaya. And Bhaya, Prabhupada writes that when a devotee preaches Krishna consciousness, just like Prabhupada single-handedly preaching in the US, London, one alone person. So he's telling, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Devotee doesn't fear anybody, because he is preaching for Lord Krishna and it is not for his own selfish desire. So he is doing everything for Lord Krishna. So if he's doing everything from Lord Krishna, then why to fear? Right? Suppose you are doing everything for the Prime Minister, for the King. The King is there to give you protection, right? So why to fear? To whom you will fear? So that was Prabhupada is telling. Because the devotee's consciousness is totally surrendered to God, and whatever he does for Krishna only, there is no other ulterior motive. So devotee is always confident and fearful, and he can preach anywhere, anything. And in that way, devotee proceeds in his life. Vita Raga Bhaya. And then at last, he tells about Krodha. Krodha, he tells that sometimes devotee get failure also, not that always he will success. So when he fails in his life, so he don't get frustrated. Otherwise, a normal person, sometimes frustration happens. Hare, I tried so much, itna maine effort dala, yaar fail ho gaya. Chhi, kya hai yaar? But Prabhupada is telling, because see, whatever effort you are putting for Krishna, right? You are not putting for your own self. Whether you are getting success or a failure, both things is actually devotional service. Because Krishna doesn't see your success or failure. Krishna sees your attempt. How you are putting your attempt. How, whether you are putting your 100% effort or not. Krishna sees that. So Krishna is not result oriented. The outside material world is result oriented, right? No matter what you do, but if you got a good result, then the world appreciates you. You have done it. But Krishna doesn't see the result. Krishna sees that how you are utilizing your effort, how you are putting your consciousness, how you are utilizing your time, how you are giving your best. That Krishna sees. And whether success or whether failure, in Krishna's eyes, both are seen. In Ramayana lecture we discussed, right? Jatayu tried his best to protect Mother Sita. And that time Mother Sita told that, Jatayu, you are so old. You can't fight with Ravana. You just go and give the information to Ram. But Jatayu fought. And eventually Jatayu knew that he will be killed by Ravana. Still, he fought and he was killed. But here just see, apparently from the material perspective, Jatayu was failure, right? He was defeated, he was killed in the war. But in the eye of Lord Ram, Jatayu was success. Lord Ram held Jatayu on his lap, and Lord Ram was crying incessantly. Tears were coming out from the Lord Ram's eye, and Lord Ram, Jatayu seeing Lord Ram's face, chanting Lord Ram's name, left his body in the lap of Lord Ram. Can you imagine what could be a better destination than this? So apparently, materially, he was defeated, he was killed, but spiritually, in the eye of Lord Ram, he was a success. He gave his own life in the service of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram cried like anything. So that is what here, success, failure doesn't matter, but your determination, your effort, that matters. Prabhupada is writing here. Okay, now in the verse 2.57. So how does he speak? This is answered in two sloka, that is 2.56 and 2.57. Second verse we will read. Iha sarvatra na vishneha tattat prapya subham na vinandanti na dvesti tasya pragya pratishtitaha. Okay. So now Krishna is telling, actually the same thing Krishna is telling little modified way, in a different way. Yaha sarvatra anavisneha. Sarvatra means one who is always anavisneha, means no motivated affection. For what? Tattat prapya subha asubha. Second line, if you see the word comes subha, asubham. Subha means good fortune, something good you get in your life. Asubham, something misfortune, what you don't like. Somehow it comes in your life. And that only happens. So that is called asubham for you. You don't like at all, but still it comes in your life. Navi nandanti na dvesti, na abhinandanti. Abhinandanti means rejoice, happiness. Na, it doesn't get very happy when subha happens. When something, what you likes, that comes to your life. Na abhinandanti. It doesn't become very happy, excited. Na dvesti. And something that asubha comes to your life, misfortune. Na dvesti. It doesn't curse. Arey, kyun ho gaya yaar? Ye nahi hona tha. So it doesn't curse the situation. We just accept that. Tasya pragya pratishtitaha. Oh my dear Arjuna, you know that this person is pragya pratisthita, means this person is situated in the platform of self-realization. Because he knows that whether happiness comes or misery comes in the material world, everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. So if it is not permanent, why to get excited in happiness? It is for a few months only, right? Why to become so excited? If you want to really excited, then you become excited for a permanent thing. Like Krishna praying, bhakti, that will stay for permanent. All these things. So he knows that it will for a certain time and it will go. So he just do the needful and it continue that way. That's what here Krishna is telling. Prabhupada writes in the purport, as long as one is in the material world, there is always the possibility of good and evil, because this world is full of dualities. Prabhupada is writing, because this world is the dualities, dvanda. Dvanda means sometimes happiness, sometimes misery. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gham. Tararam, pom pom. so, so in his happiness, don't get so excited because that happiness is not going to stay for a long time. Eventually, sorrow will come. It's like two parts of a wheel. If the happiness is on top, the misery on the down. With the time, the happiness will go down and the misery will come up. It's a rotating thing. So that is how the cycle of life was like that. So don't get carried away with these two extreme emotions. That's what Krishna is telling here. And then Prabhupada is writing, but one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness is not affected by good and evil because he is simply concerned with Krishna, who is good absolute. Because he is always connected with Krishna, so he doesn't get carried away with these material situations because his concern is to how to serve Krishna. That is what. Such consciousness in Krishna situated one in a perfect transcendental position called technically samadhi. Prabhupada is defining the meaning of samadhi, the person who has reached samadhi. This is the behavior expected from him. Okay? Even though somebody will give him 1 crore of rupees, he will not get excited. Then you will understand that he is so much. Okay. Yeah, so somebody will give you 1 kilo of gold, still he is not affected, neutral. Understand that he is in the form of samadhi. So that's what God has defined. And then from the verse 2.58, Krishna is going to answer the third question of Arjuna. That is, how does he sits? How does he sits at one place? That means how he is unresponsive to the sense object. These are all the decode. You have to decode the meaning of the questions. How does he sits? Means person is sitting means he is not interacting with others, right? He is just neutral. So when a sense object comes to his senses, how he controls himself, how he become neutral and doesn't respond to the sense object. That is what the third question of Arjuna, and Krishna will answer that in the verse 2.58, 2.58 and 2.59, 60, 61, 62, 63. So 2.58 to 63, Krishna is going to answer the third question. And then the fourth question was, how does he move? How does he move? Now he's walking, right? How does he move? Move means what? Now response is coming, right? Action is there. So when a sense object comes, how we respond to the sense object? That is the fourth question. And that to that answer, Krishna is going to answer that question from 2.64 to 2.71 till the last of the chapter. So these are the two questions. So we'll question number 3 we will discuss next week, and then the question number 4 next week we'll cover. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anybody have any questions or any comment on what we discussed today? I have given the access now. You can unmute yourself. You can ask questions.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yes, Rajendra.
Yeah, you have given a lot of information how Prabhuji explained Sthita Prajna and everything. But what we understand is how we should behave perfectly in Vartaman, so that Vartaman, that is present tense, so that this prarabdha, sanchit prarabdha will be minimized, and all the life in the future, if it is the moksha is not given, then that life should be better, or if the moksha is given, that is much better. How it can be attained means how we should be perfect in the presence.
Okay, so one thing is that every living entity has their prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means he has his own karma, baggage he is bringing from the last life, even in this life also. So So Krishna tells that suppose you has some pious karma and some sinful karma. So the pious karma and the sinful karma doesn't get cancel each other. It doesn't happen. 7 minus 4 is not 3 in karma principle. 7 is the suppose pious karma, minus 4 is the sinful karma, which the living entity has to undergo minus 4 sinful karma and then the plus 7 pious karma. So it doesn't cancel each other. So the main thing is that, but when a person practices bhakti yoga, especially the yoga when he practices, Krishna tells that nirdahanti sarva, whatever karma he has, the past karma, everything burnt into ashes. Can you imagine the power of bhakti yoga? Whatever prarabdha karma means already the karma is going to fructify. The result are you can see. Okay, some problems are coming now already. That means it is prarabdha karma. And there is another karma that is called aprarabdha karma. Means a lot of stuffs are there in the goda. That is called aprarabdha karma. It is not yet fructified. Means the seeds are there in the seed bank. But prarabdha karma means seeds are already showed in the ground and small that plant is coming, sapling is coming. That is called prarabdha karma. Some problem is coming in the life. That you can see it. But the aprarabdha karma you can't see also, you can't realize also because it's there in the godam. The seeds are there in the seed bank. It is not yet sown, but it will be sown at one time. That is called aprarabdha karma. But the good thing is that when a person practices bhakti yoga so sincerely, fully surrendered to Krishna, Krishna is telling, right? Sarva dharma parityaja mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshamami mahasucha. If you are coming to me and surrendering to me, aham tvam, I am your aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Whatever karma, whatever sinful karma, whatever baggage you have, prarabdha, aprarabdha, mokshamami, I'll clean it everything. And I'm taking that responsibility, Krishna is telling. Mahasucha, don't fear. This is my promise to you. So that is what Krishna is recommending, that you come to me and I only the person who has made all these rules and regulation. It is my laws only acting. So when you are going to the chairman, that chairman can modify the rules of the company, right? Because he's the boss. The Krishna is telling, just come to me, don't worry, I'll take care of everything. Because these all things are made by me. So like that, this is a very hope-giving thing Krishna is telling in Gita, that with whole heart, sincere heart, we should practice this Krishna consciousness very nicely. Life is very short. We should all become very serious in practicing this bhakti. Then there is a great hope in our life.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So you said Krishna is advising us to stay the same, be in happiness or be in despair. So, but keep working towards your goal. I have a question, Prabhuji, that sometimes in life we are at a situation where it is tough to make a decision, right? So whether we should, let's say we have a plan A and plan B, and it's tough to choose which one is correct. It seems at first that like what I'm choosing, maybe my family will approve, not approve, how will the life be? And Krishna, we cannot ask Krishna, right? I mean, it's very difficult. So how to make a decision in life? And like with some like with some approval from Krishna, right? Like that yeah, this is something that I should choose, and Krishna is with me.
Yeah, so it's a very tough thing always in the life when you have to take a decision, choice, when you have two choice to know that which one is right and which one what to make a choice. So like in the scripture, it is mentioned that three things are very important. One, whenever you are choosing anything in the life, it has to be sanctioned from three perspectives. That is called Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Guru, spiritual master. Sadhu means the Vaishnavas. Shastra means the scriptures. So anything we want to do, it has to be sanctioned by these three perspectives. It's not what you want to eat, then you will check the three things. If something you are taking as a critical decision, means that is going to affect your life, or it is going to affect your bhakti, maybe also very important decision in your life, that has to be cross-checked with these three points. Vaishnava means the devotee. They may be Siksha Guru from whom you are taking the inspirations, and Guru means the Diksha Guru. From if you have taken initiation from some Guru, then he has to cross-check with them, and whatever they are telling, that should be there in the scripture, that should be there in the books, right? Gita, Bhagavatam. So these three things has to be yes, yes, yes. Just like in a digital electronics, there is an AND gate and OR gate, right? Engineers can relate it. AND gate means when there is a 1, 1, 1, then only the signal will become 1, right? If there is a 1, 0, then the bulb will not glow. Similarly, the Guru, the Sadhu, the scripture, from these three perspectives, there should be yes, yes, yes. Then only it is correct and you can apply in your life. If somewhere it is some objection, that means something problem. If the Guru is telling, but the scripture it is not written, that means you have to see it. Right? Okay.
Okay, bro. Hare Krishna.
And one more thing is that you can offer a prayer to Lord Krishna in day-to-day life, just like you are singing such a nice bhajan songs with your soul heart. Similarly, any difficulties come, any doubts comes, you can offer prayer with the whole heart to Lord Krishna also. So I have so many experience when you offer prayers to Lord Krishna, immediately Krishna gives a intuition or gives a idea what to do immediately day-to-day life. That is there. But broadly, if you want to do any doubt, anything, better cross-check with this three person, because sometime apparently you may consider that Krishna wants this, but he may not, because we have a material mind also.
Right.
The other side is we are not perfect, pure soul. We have defects in our mind. Sometime we may consider it, but it may not be like that. So better cross-check with these three things. That is safe, like that.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, Nihal,
Hare Krishna, Sarat Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Nihal, you want to say something? No?
Yeah. I had one thing. Okay. Yeah. So here, I just have to ask you one thing, that in the shlok number 2.55, it is actually mentioned that at the end of the day, we have to completely get rid of all of our material.
Can you come again about the slok number?
55.
2.55.
55.
Okay, 2.50.
2.55. So there in that shlok, we have that we have to completely get rid of all of our material thoughts, and also we have to be satisfied in our own self. But if we follow all these things, then how can we eventually come out of our comfort zone, and how can we work hard in order to eventually achieve anything in life?
Yes. It's a very important question Nihal is asking, that Prabhuji, if you give up all this desire, that how to work or earn money? Come on, what the people will tell? We have to struggle, fight the company, come on. So if you see nicely, I just, when I was explaining this sloka, Prajahati yada kaman, Krishna is telling that give up the material desire Sarvan Partha Manogatan. This word is very important. What is telling? Manogatan. So it's like the material desire coming out from your material mind. Then I was giving an example. Suppose you have a bike, then your neighbor, they have purchased a car, then your mind will tell you, come on, Nihan, what you are doing with that bike? Just see your friend. He's a four-wheeler now. Come on, purchase one. So this is called the material mindset. Getting the point? And then you will purchase a Ertiga or Maruti something. And then you will see that, oh my God, he brought a Mercedes. Come on, I have to work hard now. I have to earn a lot of money now. Next target is Mercedes. So these all are material desire born from the material mindset. Manogata. So that's what Krishna is condemning, that it should not be like that. Because there is no end to this kind of a thought. So that Krishna is telling one should completely give it up. But whatever is necessary for our day-to-day life, we need money, right? Then only we can maintain our life. So then only we can practice bhakti nicely. So for practicing bhakti also, we need the basic necessity. We need a house, we need a food, we need a cloth, shelter, everything. Then only we nicely sit at one place and you can do chanting, right? Otherwise, how will you peacefully practice the sadhana? So for that, whatever is necessary, we should do that needful. So that the goal is that peacefully I can practice bhakti yoga very nicely. Getting the point? Rather, manogatan should not be appreciated, should not be considered. That's what Krishna is telling, that it should be rejected, manogatan, material mindset. Okay, so having desire is not bad. Yeah, you can have a lot of desires, Krishna conscious desire. You can earn a lot of money, just like you expended the money to go to Vrindavan. So it's such a nice place, right? You had some desire and you went there. Similarly, you can have a lot of desire for Krishna conscious desire. The gopis, they have a lot of desire how to serve Krishna. But material desires like this kind of manogatan should not be encouraged. That's what Krishna is condemning.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Krishna questions relating with this.
3 questions, my God.
Very, very fast. Very fast. When the group went to Vrindavan, they circled Govardhan Hill, correct? Now that circle takes 7-8 hours, correct?
That for us, it took only 2-3 hours, I guess.
Okay, okay. So many hours. So
we did
next
vehicle.
What did you say?
We did in vehicle.
Oh, okay. So now my next question for response to some of the Prabhuji is that I'm sure you chanted the mantra also, Hare Krishna mantra. So my response to some of the Guru Prabhuji is that if he also went over there, I think he also went over there, if I remember right. And so if you did chant it in 2 hours only 4 times Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that's equals to 4 crores, which Upanishad says that you have attained the moksha. And so that is my second response to Samanji, that you are a lucky guy who went to Vrindavan. Okay. My third question was that what do you mean by, okay, I understand spiritual master. I understand, I think the third thing, and I understand what did you mean by sadhuji? I didn't understand. I thought only spiritual master is what's necessary according to Krishna Bhagavan, right?
Guru Sadhu Shastra. Guru means the person who is connecting you with the Krishna. Officially, the initiating Guru, Diksha Guru is it. In the Vaishnava school of thought, we say Diksha Guru. So always Diksha Guru is one only, who gives you the spiritual name and who takes the responsibility of your life and
We missed.
Devi Dasi.
Okay.
Correct. That name was given to her by the spiritual master. So we are saying Dasi, that name is given to by the spiritual master, Diksha Guru. But Shiksha Guru can be many. And Sadhu means the Shiksha Gurus. Like you may
Okay.
get inspiration, knowledge from so many different Vaishnavas. Getting?
Okay.
So Shiksha Guru could be many, but Diksha Guru is always one.
Yeah.
Is the difference between Sadhu and Guru.
And so it is also possible that Diksha Guru and Sadhu can be same person.
Yeah, obviously, that is by default.
Because he's the
taking-
best. Spiritual master is the best.
Yeah, but Sadhu would be many. You are
Sadhu
not
can-
always getting instruction and association of your spiritual master because he will be traveling here and there. So, in his absence, those senior Vaishnavas who are appointed by the Guru, you can take teachings from them also.
Okay. Because for us, you will be the Sadhu. Okay. I would imagine that.
I am
Because
just a
you-
small servant.
You are giving us the instructions.
Maybe
On
one.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, but in day-to-day life, we don't have access to the gurus and sadhus, right? We only have access to the scriptures. So then what to do?
Nowadays, in the mass communication, my God, you can access through social media, YouTube, lectures are there, so many things you can hear. Yeah, earlier it was not there, but nowadays it's there, like that. And Sundays, you can go to the nearest ISKCON temple, you can hear lectures from so many sadhus.
Mhm.
That is also option is there. So at least try in a week, one day. So we generally we say Sunday means ISKCON day. Sunday generally on all over the world. In Sunday we have Sunday feast lecture, Bhagavatam class, Sunday feast prasadam for all of. So we encourage that Sundays at least we should go to ISKCON temples and recharge ourselves with the Bhagavad Katha, Prasad, Kirtan, Darshan, and then 6 days work hard with the material life, and at least one day fully recharge yourself like that. I have seen so many devotees, they come to temples in the Sunday, in the early morning, and the whole day they stay in the temple. They attend the classes, kirtan, prasadam, some seva, and then at the evening they go to home. So it's like one full day of recharge with the spiritual potency. And then 6th day, Monday to Saturday, they do the activities like that. So like that. I remember when I was my college days, I used to wait that when the Sunday will come, I'll go to temple. And once the Sunday is over, then I used to become morose. My God, Sunday is over. Then I have to wait for the next Sunday. So like that, you should get nourishment with the devotee association. Like that. Okay. So Vishalji, where are you? In China with sun or in Mumbai?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. But Prabhuji, I just reached China.
My God, your son is with you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, bole. Hare Krishna, bole. Jaldi bole. He wants to say Panchatattva.
अच्छा, you want to chant the mantra?
हाँ मेरा हो गया बात करो बोलो
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
Okay, अभी बोले he want to sleep, he wanted to recite the Panchatattva mantra. बोलो अभी.
Okay, fine.
Shri Krishna.
चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
But that's what he learned.
उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं विष्णुं रत्रां तुत्यं नमामि.
Narasimha Kavach he said.
Wow. Very nice.
Hare. Yeah, he learned that. He wanted to recite in front of you. अभी good night बोले जाके सो जाओ.
I forgot his name. What's his good name?
His name is Dwij.
Dwij. Very good, Dwij. Very nice. Fantastic.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Next class, I'll hear a new mantra, right? Dwij will learn new mantra in the next class.
अभी बोले next class में हम नया मंत्र सीख के आना. Okay? Nama Om सीख के आना. Nama Om. Okay? Okay. जा सो जा. Good night बोले.
Good night.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if we are hankering for, I have a question. If everybody in this material world is hankering for happiness, then how is this pragya possible?
And that showed the difference between a normal person and the Sthita Prajna, right? So in normal person, that is how everyone hankers for the happiness. They have a lot of material desires, and people are running in a rat race for money, fame, prestige, material happiness. The whole life goes in that. But a Sthita Prajna person, his goal is totally different.
But if a devotee is expecting that in my devotional practice, I will definitely in serving the Lord, I will be happy. So even that is hankering for happiness. So how can a devotee?
Yeah, that there is a slight difference. When a devotee thinks that when I serve Lord, then I will be happy. This happiness is not material happiness. This happiness is spiritual happiness. Spirituality means it's not that it's a devoid of happiness, pain. It's not something zero. It's like material things are negative, but in spiritual life it has a positive end. In spiritual life, there is a spiritual happiness. Devotee also becomes sometimes angry, like Hanuman. When Mother Sita was captured with the Ravana, he was a lot of anger, right? So devotee also, they have anger, they have sometimes frustration when they are not able to serve Lord very nicely. They are happy when they serve Lord very nicely. But everything is revolved around Lord. There's a difference between that. But the materialistic person, everything revolves around himself. He is the center of attraction. But a devotee keeps Krishna as a center of attraction and he does everything. So apparently from the outside it looks the same, but there is a big difference between the consciousness. Okay? So one sadhu had a picture and it was published in the newspaper. There is a heap of money, and the sadhu was telling that, take this away. And there is a picture in the newspaper. And the devotee is brought to Prabhupada and told, Prabhupada, just see this sadhu. He's totally detached from the money. Then Prabhupada tells her, take my picture. I will be embracing the whole money and take my picture. He tells that if the money is coming by his own, then utilize for Krishna's service, right? Feed the poor, give prasadam to the poor, distribute Bhagavad Gita, do nice katha, pandal program. Lot of things can be utilized. It's Lakshmi. Why to averse from the Lakshmi? It can be utilized for Krishna. So why the sadhu was doing that? Because he was thinking from his own perspective. I don't need this. But a devotee thinks everything from the Krishna's perspective. If I get this money, then I'll use this money for Krishna. So that is how Bhakti Yoga is little higher and it's a different dimension. But general Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, they think like that. They think keeping them as their center perspective. Like that.
Clear, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's okay, yeah.
Prabhuji, Jadayu fought with Ravana to protect Sita Devi. But in the case of Draupadi, there is nobody to say any word against Duryodhana. So,
Yes, Draupadi.
हाँ द्रौपदी तो किसी ने कुछ वर्ड भी दुर्योधन के अगेंस्ट बताया भी नहीं है मतलब कुछ दे आर पंच पांडव की दे आर मोर स्ट्रेंथ बट they भी never fought with Duryodhana.
So when Draupadi was disrobed, that time actually a lot of generals, Bhishma, Drona, they actually suggested Duryodhana not to do all these things. But Duryodhana didn't listen to anybody because he was the king, so nobody can oppose him. But they had given a lot of suggestions that actually it is not good, don't do that.
Okay.
But Duryodhana didn't listen to anybody. And that time, because Pandavas, they could have defeated, but Pandavas already, they lost themselves in that gambling match. The Pandavas, they lost first themselves and they lost their kingdom. At last, they put Draupadi as their wife and that also they lost. So because Pandavas is already lost themselves, so they couldn't tell anything because
Okay.
we were not the kings that time. And then Draupadi prays to Lord Krishna, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
In the famous prayer, Draupadi raised two hands and offer prayers to Lord Krishna. And immediately Krishna comes and protect her, right? In the form of sari. Lord
Yes.
Krishna is another incarnation, the incarnation of sari, just imagine. And Krishna protected Draupadi in one sense, like that. And to that action, what Duryodhan did, Dushasan and Duryodhan, they got the reaction for their action. And
Okay.
Krishna told, "Na, because they have disrobed a chaste lady, so the reaction is very heavy. And for that, they were killed in the Mahabharata war."
Okay, okay.
Sometimes the reaction comes immediately, and sometimes the reaction comes little delayed. But
Okay.
for sure, reaction will come. That is how the laws of karma works.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhuji, two questions. One question is on the Guru Mantra. In Guru Mantra, we say that Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ni Itinamine. Why do we say Srimati for Bhakti? I mean, he's a male, right? Then why is the mantra we say Srimati Bhakti Vedanta?
नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जी नामिने. श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत, श्रीमती नहीं बोलते, श्रीमती, श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जी नामिने. This is slight difference if you read the mantra.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a male only, not female.
Okay. Okay. Second question was between Sthita Pragya and Bhakti Yoga, which one to follow?
Obviously, you have any doubt what to follow? Sthita Pragya was for the Gyanis, but practically the Jnana Yoga, because second chapter Krishna is giving a summary of Karma, Jnana, Ashtanga Bhakti. Okay, so this is very summary only, but detail Krishna will explain in the third, fourth chapter now. And there Krishna will tell that how it is impractical to practice in the Kali Yoga. And the most practical thing is he will tell from 7th chapter to 12th chapter, that is Bhakti Yoga. Like that. So second chapter is a summary study of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So in the future chapters it will be very clear.
Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Samir ji, Anuja ji, how are you? Too? Not visible. Where are you all? Are you there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I was thinking about Narsi Mehta talking about Sthita Prajna. And in Gujarati, we have, because he was from Gujarat, so in Gujarati, we have a lot of bhajans, which we sing, which are composed by him.
Okay.
So when his wife and his son die, he says, Bhalu thayu bhangi janjar, sukthi bhatshu Shri Gopal. So it means that it's good that they died. When, any normal person would have definitely grieved at the death of, his own wife and son. But he says that it is good. Even whatever attachment I had material, even that is gone now. And now I can happily chant Krishna's name. So at first you think it is a very insensitive reaction to somebody's death. But I guess when you are so deep into bhakti, you just start understanding that anyways everything is so temporary. They are to go. Everybody's to go one day. So to reach that stage, he must have done so much bhakti. I was just wondering. And when you think about even Arjun, when Abhimanyu dies, he is so disturbed by his death that he immediately takes the pratigna to kill Jaidrath before sunset.
Yeah.
That is when Krishna tells him, that before taking such a severe pratigna, you should have at least thought that how difficult it must be to kill a man who is protected by so many armies, and then he helps him, and that false sunset happens, and that story which follows. So it is definitely very difficult to practice Sthiti Pragnata, even people like Arjuna also couldn't come to do it immediately in the war. definitely it comes with time and with lot of bhakti.
Yeah. So when Abhimanyu was died, Arjuna was crying like anything. But interestingly, one main thing is that Arjuna cried, but he never gave up his duties. So after crying incessantly, then Arjuna was again ready for the fight next day. And Arjuna took revenge and he killed Jayadratha. So that's how the emotion is there, but everything has their own place. And the emotion didn't affect the duty. So when the time for the duty came, he performed his duty very nicely. But emotion you also have to do. It's not that a devotee means his heart will be like a stone heart. He will not cry or not laugh. Not like that. He will cry, but that emotion will not overpower him and not affect his duty. So at the time of the duty, he will do his duty. Okay? Okay. Shall we end today's class here? Manjit Mataji didn't say anything. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, isn't Sthita Prajna a state? I mean, I didn't know that it's a practice. Like Vikas Prabhuji said that should we do bhakti or with bhakti marg, won't Sthita Prajna state happen on its own eventually? I mean, automatically you start having very extreme reactions when you're doing bhakti anyways, right? I mean, with time, slowly, as you progress in bhakti, your extreme reactions to happiness or sorrow automatically start becoming balanced. No? So I think eventually you will, along the bhakti marg, also reach a state of sthita prajnaness.
So basically, Mataji told a very important point. Actually, sthita prajna is not a practice, rather it's a state. Especially this name is connected with the Jnana Yoga. It's generally not used much with the Bhakti Yoga. In a Jnana Yoga, the last stage is called Sthita Prajna or Samadhi. In the Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. So this word is used in those yoga. But saying that the qualities what a Sthita Prajna person is undergoing, these qualities easily a devotee also achieves when he practices very nicely. And right now in the beginning, we are like sadhaka, right? Sadhaka, struggling with our anarthas. But one day when we come on Krishna's mercy, when our heart will be pure and we are free from lust, greed, anger, and you become pure in your heart. And they say pure devotee, right? Pure devotee. That time automatically this quality will become in devotee's life also. Okay. So generally in bhakti tradition, we tell there are 9 stages: Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Anartha, Nivritti, Ruchi, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prem. So last stage is like Prema, Bhava and Prem. So that are the stage, the means the heart is totally pure and we have a devotion in our heart. Like Jnana Yoga Sthita Prajna is equivalent to the Prem stage of Bhakti. Like that. Okay.
And Vikas Prabhuji, you said that you can't talk to Krishna and ask when you want to take a decision. Actually, you can. I mean, from my experience, like I actually ask, please help me. And like Abhimanyu Prabhuji was saying that you get an intuition. Like I always when I have to take an important decision, like you actually tell Krishna ki, please open the doors only that are good for me. The rest, don't open them only. I mean, don't let that option, so, more often than not, that confusing option you realize because of something or the other, and that just goes away and you are automatically guided onto the right path most of the time. But like, of course, Abhimanyu Prabhuji said, we think with a material mind, so we might make a wrong decision, but it will give you a lot of peace if you are actually talking to Krishna and saying, please guide me and don't let any wrong doors open only. So, I mean, I leave it to you and you just open only the correct doors for me. So automatically you will be guided into a right decision. That's what I believe. You can actually talk to Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, makes sense.
Yeah, in fact, Krishna will become very happy when you are offering these prayers and seeking guidance from him, because you are thinking Krishna is a person and offering the prayer and asking. So Krishna would become very happy actually, because you are asking him for the prayer. Because Krishna is there in everyone's heart and Krishna is waiting for you to guide. That is how the Paramatma is there in everyone's heart. Na? He is there in our heart to guide us. But the thing is that there is no proper connection with Lord. We are not connected. So when you are sincerely offering prayer, trying to get connected with the Lord, then Lord actually helps us. Lord guides us. That is the like that. Okay? And you all are sincere souls. You all can pray nicely and can pray for me also, so that I can practice nicely. Okay. Shall you end today's class here? So mostly next week I may go to Vrindavan again from 18 to 24. There is a yatra, another yatra. 150 people are coming, but these are our local villagers. Those who are coming over the Nico village for labor work, nearby village people. Around 150 we are taking them, 18 to 24. So Tuesday we can't have our class. So next week mostly I'll let you know. Next week not possible, then directly we'll have on 25th. On 25th and 26th in Govardhan Eco Village, we are hosting G20 meeting of India. So all the ministers are coming. So it's a big event in Govardhan Eco Village. So the event's name is Food Conclave. So in G20, they have different department. So they have given us a Food Conclave, the food department of India. All the ministers related to the food department from different countries, they'll come. So 25th and 26th, we have a big event in Govardhan Eco Village. So we have a lot of services on these 2 days. So let's see. I'll let you know when will be our next class. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when is the Chandan Yatra in Eco Village?
Chandan Yatra will start soon, Prabhu. Chandan Yatra. From Akshay Tritiya, it generally starts. Yeah. Akshay Tritiya is 23rd April. From 23rd April, 1 month will be Chandan Yatra.